Hello everyone, Dermot here, the Celtic coach, with another wee story here from the Emerald Green Isle. This one today is about words. Now, it's very fascinating. The Irish are great with words, and we always have been. A lot of the poets, Yeats, Joyce, Samuel Beckett, masters of language of words. But I'm wondering how often we actually sit and think about what words we use and why we use them. What words uplift us and what words, demotivate us or put us down. Words have the power, very fascinating, words have the power to uplift, or they have the word to demotivate. They have the power to criticize, or they have the power to appreciate. Words can be inspiring, and words can be expiring, depending on how we use them. And it's the words that we use, against people, or it's the words that we use against or towards ourselves. So I want to talk a little bit today about words. And one word in particular we're going to talk about is inspiration. I went on a walk in 2008. I got very inspired, and I decided I'm going to walk from Washington, or from Los Angeles to Washington DC. And I started out in the walk, and there was a lot of people cheering, and there was a lot of inspiration. The word inspiration is quite fascinating. It comes from the Latin inspirate, and it means in means into, and spirate means to breathe life. So it literally means to breathe life into. What's fascinating is I like to think of inspiration as breathing life into another's dream, or breathing life into your own dream, and being inspired towards that. Well, I went on this walk anyway, and the whole walk, the purpose behind the walk was to create money to build a school in India, and also to have an inspirational walk where I talked about inspiration, where I talked about life, where I talked about all things positive. And I decided I'd dress up as Mahatma Gandhi for half of the walk. I know you might be thinking that's a bit crazy, but I decided for half the walk I would dress as Mahatma Gandhi and talk about peace and about his life and use him as the inspiration for the walk. Well, now that walk took 16 months to complete in 6 pairs of shoes. It was 3,347 miles. And in around the 1,800 mile mark, I was walking through the panhandle of Texas. And it was a very, very hot day. I had been walking with blisters for about 3 days. And that particular day I was on mile 21. I was walking about 22 to 24 miles a day, sometimes more. And I had lost all my inspiration. There was no inspiration to be found anywhere. The only thing I could focus on was the blisters on my shoes, on my feet. And my inspiration was gone. And I remember thinking it may be time to stop this walk, that I've taken on too much. And I was not having fun. I had used up the $10,000 that I had saved, and did not have any support on the walk, except for a little financial. But I also had my girlfriend who came and walked over 500 miles throughout the walk with me. But on this particular day, I was really suffering, and I was seriously considering giving up on the walk. As I said, the inspiration was gone. And it's a very interesting thing that happens when the air is out of the bubble, or when the fuel is out of the engine and there's nothing more in the engine. Every excuse comes up to, at least it did for me, to say all the things that were not working. And I came across among this little town in the middle of nowhere, next to somewhere, and in the boiling heat, and I decided I got to get out of the heat. And I came across this little town. It had like about 7 houses. And next to these 7 houses was a little store and a church. And so I saw a seat by the church, and I sat down, and I went to sleep. I got out of the hut and I went to sleep. And when I awoke, it must have been about 3 hours later, I was getting up and I turned to look at the door on the church. I was going to go inside and have a look at it, but it was locked. And on the door there was this sign, and the sign read this. It said, "When nothing is sure, everything is possible." When nothing is sure, everything is possible. And it hit me like a bolt of lightning, or maybe it was a bad check, I don't remember, that I had been pushing and pushing it and forcing and trying to control every aspect of this walk. I had not let go. And you know what happens to a dream when you try to control it? All the inspiration goes out of it. So it really hit me that if I could let go of trying to control the outcome of the walk and just enjoy the journey, that I would have a lot more fun. You see, when we focus on an outcome, not the activity, that's a great way to create inspiration, because we focus on how it will feel at the end. We focus on the result. We focus on how it's going to feel to be that, to live that, to have that, to experience that. James Joyce said, "Tread lightly on my dreams because they are my dreams." And so if you have a dream, if you have something that you're inspired about, I invite you to tread lightly. One of the things that I do, not only with goals and goal setting as a life coach, is I do my best every day for a minute or two to look at the outcome, to close my eyes and feel what it's like to have the outcome at the end, so that I'm constantly moving towards the outcome, and the activities will take care of themselves. And when the activities are challenging, or when you need a little bit of inspiration, inspirate, when you need some breathing of life into your dream, take a moment and just go to the end of it and take a moment to visualize or step into feeling what that would be like to already have that. And do that every day for a couple of minutes. It's a lot, you know, we're either in inspiration or motivation. And motivation is more about the stick. You know, it's I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta get out of bed, I gotta work out. But inspiration is that drawing. It's that pulling towards, where motivation is all about pushing. You know, I push myself out of bed to go jogging. But when you focus on the outcome, when you focus on what it is you're going to be or have or do as the end result, that's the way to inspire. So I hope you've enjoyed our little chat today. There'll be more. I'm the Celtic coach, Dermot Butterley. Stay curious, have fun, and we'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching.